What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Azriel's Gaming. So we're going to hop back into Tavern Talk. Now, the last time I played this was technically back in June, and they've had an update since then, and they have updated, I believe it's the bulletin board system where we create the quest, and apparently they've made it so it's like a little bit harder to put them together. So, hopefully on this day that we're starting here, we'll be able to see what that's like, because I usually, when I record my videos, I do them in advance and then I, edit them and stuff like that. So it's not like I've done this, a few days before and then uploaded. So it's been a while since I've played this, so I don't even think I remember what happened in the last one. But we're starting at Act 2, Starlight Sonata. That would be 11, Trouble in Paradise, 9th of the Astral Moon. So let's go ahead and start the day. Oh, I do remember him. Okay, she just took one of our quests. Good morning. Good morning, Clay. Did you sleep well? I slept. I dreamed about the whale a lot. I can't get its song out of my head. That doesn't sound very restful. It wasn't. At home, we write songs for our dead, melodies that help them on their way to Tuat, like a musical torch. I think maybe the whale just knew what I needed to mourn it. What have you been dreaming about, Tia? Stars. Surely messages from Lady Cassiopeia that are meant to guide me. Maybe that's her way of comforting you. She doesn't need to comfort me, and yet she still does. Anyhow, I see you had time to prepare the quest. Wonderful. Let's get started. Let's take this one step at a time. Clay, did you find the time to make some bread? I did. Decided on potato bread. I made you your own loaf so you can share it with your guest. I handed it to your little purple friend and told him to keep an eye on it. Oh no, he ate it, didn't he? Well, that's gone. Thank you for feeding my familiar, Clay. Of course. Did you enjoy the bread yesterday? Very much. I think we needed it. I think that might have said break. Or did it say bread? We both couldn't sleep, so we had some bread. Yeah, I think it was bread. I thought it was break for a second, but I think it was bread. So we both couldn't sleep, so we had some bread and just talked. I admit it was a pleasant way to wind down. What did you talk about? Ferrets, I hope. Not quite. Many things. Like, I thought it'd be fun to make her niece one of the little dolls my granny taught me to make. The ones with the flower dresses and mini axes. I don't have any siblings or cousins, but Tia said she's going to make little star lamps for my parents' garden. Is that so? He offered to cook for my family, and I can't offer to cook for his. My cooking skills are unimportant to my destiny. But I thought if I were to visit, it would be appropriate to bring some sort of thank you gift. And who wouldn't want some stars in their garden, especially now? That sounds lovely. Have you ever visited the Highlands before? No, not this far, though I have always wanted to. Our snow dragon building competitions are famous. I've never heard of those. Oh? But they do sound intriguing. When I was young, one of my favorite stories the Elysian told me was that of the ever-burning flame. It is said to have been a gift from Leviathan to the first mortals. Along with it, he bestowed the powers of elemental manipulation upon his chosen. I vaguely recall there being another version where one of his guardians stole the flame from him instead. Blasphemous hearsay is all that is. We should be thankful for the gifts he has given us. I've always wanted to pay my respects to the flame, and it just happens to still be burning in an ancient temple in the Highlands, keeping the hope of Asteria alive for eternity. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in person sooner rather than later, and with a local guide no less. I've never visited before either, so we unlocked the rumor ever-burning gift. Okay, but once I went to the Autumn Glow Festival in Varika, you can see the temple from there. The Autumn Glow Festival, what's that about? I'm sure he can tell you about it another time. Please, let's get back to the quest. You're right, let's continue. I have one more. Okay, I got one more question apparently. Fine, one more. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite animal? Oh my goodness. Let's go with animal. Why? I'm curious. I'm not sure. I've never been asked that before. You don't know what your favorite animal is? No. Do the dragons count? Not sure if you want to call a dragon an animal. You're right. That would be blasphemous. It would also be correct and funny, but their egos wouldn't take it. Tia, we have to figure out what your favorite animal is. Why? It doesn't matter. Of course it does. Getting to know yourself is one of the most wonderful experiences in the universe. I know myself, and yet you don't know what your favorite animal is. But don't worry, we'll figure it out together. Doesn't that sound fun, Tia? It doesn't. But thank you. Okay, so we unlocked more information on Alethea. I think it's Alethea. I can never pronounce her name right. Of course. Now, the quest? Of course. Should I add a quest about finding out what your favorite animal is? Yes. No. Don't worry, Innkeeper. I'll put one together myself. Thank you, Clay. So I'm assuming you're going together. Unfortunately, I was going to go alone, but Clay insisted on coming along. Why is that unfortunate? It's a very dangerous quest, and he is not practiced in the ways of a divine warrior. Could you imagine if he tried to befriend some bleak stalkers? That'd make for a fun story, I think. But if you really want to do this alone, you could just go by yourself. Who would make her fresh bread then? Exactly. That makes sense, so she doesn't really want to go alone. Plus, I need to meet those bleak stalkers. I've never seen any before, and I can't wait to find out what they like to eat. They like to eat you. Only if they're hungry. Could you at least try to be reasonable? I am. Local creatures can be very helpful. I know they can be dangerous too. Of course, it's important to have your guard up, so you can defend yourself if they're scared. Generally, if you approach anything non-violently, they'll like you more. Maybe the Innkeeper can give us some extra charisma too, so we can convince him to help us out. I could offer you some honey flowers as well. They can be very inspiring, even to bleak stalkers. I think so, at least. I've never tested that one out, actually. We could test it for you. Nonsense. We need to head into this knowing we'll have to fight our way through. The name Bleak Stalkers doesn't exactly inspire confidence in their hospitality. Not to mention there could very well be many more dangerous monsters roaming the abandoned Everbloom. We need to refresh our strength and hope that our mortal weapons will be enough to damage them. If that's of concern, I could offer you some citron. It's infused with divine properties that'll bless your weapon strikes. With a little help from the dragons, no creature should be able to withstand you, no matter how bleak. Citron can only be found deep within the Forbidden Valley. How would you even have access to that? Oh, No, I don't. Anyway, I think both of your strategies could work. Strength and citron will let you fight your way through any danger in no time, but the right mix of defense, charisma, and honey flowers might offer a more unconventional solution. Can you help us decide? I don't want to argue. Sure. Ooh, so what do I want to give them? I'm kind of leaning towards the honey flower just because I want to see what that would do. So we have the Siren Plane, Raiders of the Lost Archives. So that's the Everbloom Archives. We did discuss that in the last one. We added some more quests. Hints. Okay, so we added, she's a seraph residing in the Aperture, a stronghold of Cassiopeia. Her circumstances was full of history lessons, and her curriculum circumstances, good lord. Her curriculum was full of history lessons about the world and realms surrounding us, but apparently she never had enough time for self-expression and growth. I'm sure she'll get to know herself better eventually. Alrighty, so either something infused for strength or the honey flowers. It gives them inspiration. I think I'm going to do the honey flower one. So we put that in there. That starts us on it. Oop. And then we need something that gives defense, mostly defense. So something with strong defense, which could be this with a little bit of... So it could be the first snow. Or 1,000 winds. You become as charming and elusive as their elemental messengers. Somehow that feels exactly like resting on a tropical island, enjoying a refreshing drink and pleasant company. Its airy swirls are perfect for avoiding unwanted questions. Could also be the Frosted Lagoon. I'm kind of wondering about this one, but it's not full. This is more charisma based. So I think I'm going to go with the Frosted Lagoon. Although, hold on. First snow. Yeah, it's first snow. Because it has a little bit of agility, which is what the honey flower also offers besides the charisma. And the defense. So we're going to do this one. I think that's going to be right. So let's go ahead and put in the defense because that's what it needs the most of. It's got this, so it needs a little bit more dexterity. Okay, first snow. Let's try that. I would love to hear the story about you befriending those bleak stalkers. Or at the very least, how their teeth were no match against your armor or your pecs. And a new approach couldn't hurt. Exactly. I would like less dead creatures this time. Fine, I trust your judgment, Innkeeper. Good, you should. Thank you for all your help, Innkeeper, but we should get going now. Indeed. Wait, why are you in such a hurry? Yesterday I met Fable at the farmer's market, and they helped me pick out the ripe potatoes. And then they invited me to their barbecue on the 31st of Cassiopeia. So we need to make it back in time for that. You could always leave early if it takes too long. And what about you? What about me? You're also coming. I have to work. You also have to eat. Okay, so saving the world is bound to make you hungry. She's right. That's a waste of time. I mean, saving the world makes you hungry. And you might even have fun. Who knows? I will consider it. Let's hurry then. Let's. Innkeeper, can you let Fable know we'll be back in time? Of course. I'll let them know as soon as they grace my tavern with their presence again. Oh yeah, Grace should know too. I think she's bringing her famous fortune nuggets. I'll tell her as well. I wish you a successful quest. It shall be so. See you soon. Interesting. So I wonder how that one's going to go. Greetings, Innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Good to see you again. It's always a delight to be here. It makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger already. I'm glad to hear that. Speaking of which, were you able to help those farmers out? Oh, yes. Talking to Fable was truly inspiring. They were so right. The farmers really had no interest in gold or other riches. So instead, I helped them with the reconstructing their land, barns, houses, with my own 2 hands. I even got some blisters from it. Remnants of my first ever heroic deed. Very exciting and painful. Now that I think about it, do you have a recipe for a drink that could help out in this specific situation? I want to be able to help every single farmer with ease. I want to lift the heaviest logs and steel myself for the most stubborn splinters. You're right, a drink like that is still missing from my recipe book. Let me think of something. Oh, thank you dearly. When I was making my way to your tavern, I walked past an astounding duo of adventurers. Okay, so we got this, unlocked the recipe, Steel Tonic. A stunning seraph and a massive half-giant. They were so utterly impressive. I aspire to be like them someday. It feels like I'm in a book, like I delved headfirst into one of the stories on my bookshelf. Magic and adventures surrounding me with every step, and unknown lurking dangers in the shadows. This is all so exciting. But now I'm just daydreaming. Originally, I came here seeking one of your magical drinks. Of course, what would you like? Preferably something that'll help me defend myself from devious dangers, like splinters in my hands. The drink I had last time did. Well, I presume it did something, but those splinters were a real nuisance, I'll tell you that. I got you, don't worry. Okay, so something with a strong defense, which was probably the Frosted Lagoon that we gave him. Although we've gotten quite a few new recipes. And Steel Tonic was what I just gathered for him, so maybe we should try Steel Tonic. It's a steel tonic running through your veins. You can become the buff party tank of your dreams. Its cooling qualities, mixed with a surprising spicy aroma, boost your vitality to new heights and leaves you impenetrable to damage. That is, if they are even fast enough to hit you. So let's try this steel tonic. I think this one will be okay to do. Possibly not. We might have to mix something with it because it might not be enough, but we'll find out. Yeah, I don't think I have enough room. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, here you go, Andu. I hardly feed him anyway. Okay, we'll just go with the Frosted Lagoon because we know that one will work. So that one probably has to be mixed with something in order for it to work properly. So we'll just give him what we gave him last time. Oh, whoops. I think my game lagged a little bit. I didn't mean to give him that much. There we go. And then that one. Protection against your arch nemesis splinters. Here you go. Ha! I can already feel my skin getting tougher. Helping people grow calluses is my secret party trick. Maybe I should bring my friend here someday. Your drink mixing magic is quite peculiar, really. Oh, your friend? Is he from Winmore as well? That is correct. I've known him since we were kids. Mostly due to our parents being of similar wealth and influence. I think we were kind of chosen to be friends. We decided to write each other letters when he's not here in Zenith. He's actually in a kind of dire situation right now. You see, he's a diplomat, deeply involved in the whole Diria mainland negotiations. Due to him nearly getting kidnapped during his last business trip to Diria, he decided to fire his entire personal security crew. If you ask me, his reaction was a little over the top, but I don't interfere with his decisions, so... Now he doesn't have any bodyguards, and I would like to help him. But honestly, I have no clue what I should do. He definitely doesn't need my money, just like the farmers don't. Okay, so we got Escort Buddy was a rumor unlocked. Can we click on that now? Oh, okay. So the only one we haven't done is the Scandal and Zophor. That's... I think we did these two the last time, so these haven't been picked up yet. We've got so many quests. He's got more than enough of it as it is. I mean, if you're brave enough, you could volunteer to be his bodyguard. Splendid idea. I like how you think, Innkeeper. But I don't know if I'd be strong enough, even with your magically infused drinks. He might need more protection than I could offer. Well, I still do that thing with the quest. Oh, you're right. I could just hang up a quest on your pinboard. And then some brave adventurer will offer to help us out. My friend means the world to me. I would never forgive myself if something happened to him. So you're looking for the best bodyguards in Zenith? Absolutely. Well, I already have some folks in mind that are more than qualified to do the job. Let's just hope my quest writing skills are enough to attract just the right people. Do you write a lot? No. Yes. Sometimes. I love to write stories about cunning and courageous adventurers. Somehow, they always manage to get out of the most dreadful situations by cheating death multiple times. But that's, well, writing doesn't really fit the image of heroic adventure himself, does it? Why would I dream of other people's journeys if I could live the tales myself? You've got a fair point. Also, it's always easier to write about things you've experienced firsthand. Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to see my friend again and help him out. I'll be more than prepared. Fable also offered to teach me how to use a bow. How could I say no to such an enticing offer? Getting taught by the Fable of the Ashen Grove themselves? It's more than I could have ever dreamed of. They also mentioned another friend of theirs, an imposing Valkukan lady named Carolyn. Do you know her by any chance? Oh, Care? Yes, I know her quite well. She's quite the local legend. She's a regular. I mean, she kind of is a regular, but we haven't seen her lately, so let's go with local legend. I'm surprised you haven't heard of her. She single-handedly slew a Wyvern Chimera. That's incredible. This tavern is full of hidden treasures. Apparently Lady Carolyn is bored because her newest protege is on a mission and hasn't returned yet. So she'll be joining my training with Fable. Oh, you're in for a ride. How thrilling. I nearly can't contain my excitement. But for now, I've got to think of the right words for the job posting. Don't worry about that. Assembling quests for patrons is one of my services. Really? That would be so helpful. I got you. You'll have the perfect crew of bodyguards for your friend assembled in no time, trust me. Thank you so much. And also, thank you for the drink. Coming here is always a delightful source of inspiration. I'm always happy to help. Until then, Innkeeper. See you next time, adventurer. Oh, new person. Ah, yeah, how's it going? You look like a tiefling. Hello, come on in. This is a cute little tavern, I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't that convinced from the outside, but the interior is really adorable. I'm glad. Are you accustomed to more opulent exteriors? For sure, but do I enjoy the cozy feeling of a simple tavern? You know, it's good being away from the hustle and bustle of the big city sometimes. I get that. Are you new in town? I am. How'd you know? It's been a while since I last saw a phantasm around here, that's all. I just took a guess. Ah, I see. I came here straight from the capital, just needed a moment to breathe. You get me. Oh, I do. That's why I settled here on the outskirts of Zenith. This town is big enough for me to never run out of work, but small enough to not feel overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly. So, you run this business, Innkeeper? Correct. Just me, my familiar, in this tavern. Oh, and all the regulars that come here, of course. Of course. And with whom do I have the pleasure today? Perhaps one of my next regulars? Who knows, maybe. The name's Voyage, but you can call me Voy. Oh, goodness, the little blow in the kiss at the heart. That was hilarious. All right, Voy, got it. What can I do for you today? Well, I mean, a drink would be the way to go, I suppose. Wait, don't tell me you haven't heard of me. Not yet, I'm afraid. Of course I have. Okay, let's be honest. I don't know who Voy is. I suppose I should have. I'm the Voy, the famous bard. Ring any bells? No. Well, I guess you'll have to get to know me then. And what better way to do so than with a fine drink made by the finest innkeeper? You're a real sweet talker, aren't you? I guess I am. Yeah. Is there something specific you would like? No. Surprise me with something that'll make me even more irresistible, like a real Prince Charming. I should have known he was a bard. Okay, so we need something with a lot of charisma, so that would probably be the Sunny Breeze. Could even be the Thousand Winds. Probably more likely the Spoken Heart, though. We'll go with that one. A little strength and a little defense. May this drink give you an untwistable silver tongue. Oh, this is good. Nearly as good as my musical talent. I have a feeling this drink might influence your next performance. Will it boost my charisma even further? You'll have to wait and see. Let's just say you might want to come back afterwards to get another drink. Oh, now you're teasing me. How about you tell me more about you? Didn't you want me to get to know you better? Hold on tight to your countertop, Innkeeper, because I'm about to knock your socks off. Bring it on. So, right in front of you is the one and only Voy, traveler of the lands, stealer of hearts, and the most famous bard in all of Pistoia. Not only because of his immaculate talent, but also because of his good looks, I might add. I'm fairly impressed. Of course you are. Might ask for your autograph later then. But what brings you here, Voy? As I said, I just needed a breath of fresh air. A short break from the big city. Is it hard being famous? Not really, no. Maybe a little bit sometimes. But making music and performing is my job, and I absolutely love it. So it's not a big deal, really. It just makes me cherish the quieter moments. Makes sense to me. Would it be cool if I kept you in your little familiar company for a bit? Okay, so we unlocked about Voy. Okay, he's a phantasm. 22, he, him, bard, Tigerian, chaotic good, the sun. So Voy, short for voyage, is a very famous bard working in the capital. He needed a short break from all the fame and troubles being a musician comes with, and ended up here in Zenith. He's particularly flirty fellow, though he falters when you happen to match his energy. I like him already. Okay, absolutely, make yourself at home. Nice. Got somebody else new? Hello there, traveler. What can I get you? Usually it's my role to ask that, but given the circumstances, I'll humor you. Well, this is my tavern, and it has come a long way. Love the color of the walls. A new coat. It's been a good few years since my last renovation. But yes, I thought it was time to accept some change into my life. Thought so. What is a life if not the constant changing of the self? How I missed your endless wisdom, Quincy. I can only imagine, Innkeeper. You look like you might be in need of a refreshment. How about a drink? Yeah, long journey. Surprise me with something as charismatic as your little establishment. Okay, so obviously it's somebody that our character knows. Okay, so we'll go with a spoken heart. Here you go, liquid charisma, my specialty. This tastes magical. Seems like you've improved a good deal since last time. Practice makes perfect, after all. Indeed. So what brings you to this corner of the world? I'm looking for the feathers of a peculiar little bird. They're said to only reside in the neighborhood, or continent, rather. What bird? They're the golden loon. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the golden loon? They're quite beautiful to behold. If I were you, I'd look for them near a big lake. That's where they usually hang out. But only in Phoecia. Hence why I came all this way. Oh, plumage of gold, glistening in the lights of day, a traveler's bold. That would be a very poetic way to greet them. Tell that to the stupid song of Vigor Guild. They didn't like it. Nah, they don't like anything that isn't mainstream. Like subtext. But isn't that what lyrical works are all about? Pouring your heart and soul into something for others to take in? And only if you push away the layers and read between the lines will you find the true meaning. Exactly my thinking. It's just that now I'm afraid that they'd laugh at me. Or remember me as the bard without a heart, all because they don't understand. You know, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. Fear can sometimes keep us safe from danger. But something to keep in mind is that fear does not stop death. It stops life. Do you enjoy your art? Yeah, and I want others to enjoy it too. I, for one, greatly enjoyed your Golden Loon haiku. Me too is a bit dramatic for my taste. Me too. Aw, Innkeeper, thank you. You shouldn't base your values on other people whether people like what you create or not. There will always be those who don't get it and those who find themselves in it. Do it for the people who appreciate your art, but most importantly, do it for yourself. That's one way to look at it. You know, I imagined all this so differently. Way easier for sure. Moving from, I cannot pronounce that. Trigarian. It's Trigarian, that's it. The smallest of towns to the big city. I've always dreamt of joining the Sove Guild. And then they promptly rejected me. But I'm Voyage, and I don't give up because of things like that. I don't need a guild to get out there and share my music. All I need is me and my Higum. That's right. I've seen many people spend too much time giving attention to those who will never truly understand them. My 2 cents? Live for what you believe in and allow others to make their own decisions. That's what I'm doing. Good. But, unfortunately, I have to leave now. Gotta find those loons before it gets dark. It was nice having you around, Quincy. Until next time, and don't forget, take care of yourself, Innkeeper, and be safe out there, Voyage. You too. Nice guy. Yes, he's an old friend. Didn't know you do friends. Perhaps Perhaps we could be friends too, Innkeeper. Not yet. Oh. Maybe one day. Yeah, I can't let you get between me and my air elemental. Welcome, Ba. Quick, Innkeeper, your strongest drink. This is an emergency. What happened? It's absolutely urgent. Relationships are on the line. Not lives? Listen, Innkeep, I'll tell you the story, don't worry. But you gotta be a little patient because Baya really needs a drink first. Yes, please. What do you need? The same as last time. Oh, that one was really delicious. I'd love to taste it again, please. Got it. I'll get you something that'll make you feel as agile as a spider again. That would be the Swift Strike. There you go, my strongest drink to the rescue. Thank you. This is good. Oh, thank the dragons. That pause made me so nervous. I really thought she would mess it up. Thanks for having so much faith in me, Una. You're welcome. But Baya, are you feeling better now? Yes. At least a little bit. That's good to hear. Please fill me in on the situation now. I've never seen you this upset, Baya. And you have to endure the Bloomtide Festival every year. You're right. So, I have this group of friends. They're girlfriends. We three have been inseparable for at least a few centuries. But now, very insensitive to ask an emotionally vulnerable and sweet girl what's troubling her, Innkeeper. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's okay. How about I tell her what's going on, Baya? So you don't have to strain yourself. Thank you. Okay, so a sweet Baya over here has had a long-lasting group of friends, right? Right. They're a trio, inseparable for at least a few hundred years. And then, they're an adorable trio, might I add. The Swamp Monster, the Banshee, and the Mari Morgan. Ah, yes, the Mari Morgan, the wrathful spirit that is known to drown men. I've heard she doesn't really differentiate between genders, though. Yep, that's right. Anyways, the Mari Morgan and the Banshee are a couple. And so I figured. Have been for a while. I recall them coming by once or twice. But right now, how should I put it? They're in domestic dispute. For some reason, the two have completely stopped talking to each other. They even refuse to show up to Baya's monthly tea parties, insisting they'll only come if the other isn't invited. Why? I don't know. It's like they don't like each other anymore. And soon they won't like me either anymore. It does smell like a breakup. Let's not catastrophize. Catastrophize? I don't know what that... I have no idea. I don't want my friend group to fall apart. Words are hard sometimes. People have always left me because I scare them. I don't want them to leave me too. Okay, so trouble in paradise was the rumor unlocked. Now, I'm sure they won't. Say something, Innkeeper. Don't worry, Baya. Even if they do break up, you'll be fine. Let's go with this one. They've been together for so long that they must have already solved numerous arguments. They'll get through this one too. She's right. They've been through worse. But what if she is wrong? What if they do break up? What if they really leave me? I just wish there was something I could do to help them. If I might just add my 2 cents real quick. Hi, I'm Voy. That's short for Voyage. You might have heard of me before. I'm pretty famous. No. Doesn't ring any bells, sorry. Ouch. Anyway, so, Baya, that's your name, right? Mm-hmm. What's keeping you from getting to know other people? Like, you seem really chill. Well, usually everyone's afraid of me. But the Innkeeper has always been nice to me. I trust them. And I've known Una for a while now. Didn't she pick endangered flowers from your backyard last time you met? Yes. The bouquet was really cute. I know, right? You meet a lot of people when you travel across the lands looking for potential clients and work. And honestly, I've seen stranger creatures than her in my years as an adventurer. Baya's also really cute under all that moss and kelp. Oh. Shush. I mean, you might look a little terrifying, that's true, but maybe you just have to figure out how to get through to people. I'm sure they'd want to be your friends. I don't know about that. Usually they try to burn me. Luckily, I don't scar easily. Oh, what a nice metaphor. Might have to use that in a new song if you don't mind. People hurting you over and over again just because they're afraid. Exes leaving you, but you always manage to get over them. It's not a metaphor. Once every few moons, people surround me with torches and pitchforks. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. You don't say, kid. But honestly, I know how you feel. Sometimes facing people is terrifying when you feel so different. But there's always something to love about everyone, like my handsome smile or enchanting voice. Maybe. People would enjoy my spa. You run a spa? That's fantastic. Yes. You should come visit sometime. Voy, that's short for voyage. Just Voy is fine. Do you want to come too, Una? I'd love to, yes. There's nothing more soothing for old bones than a nice swamp bath. Do you get a lot of customers? No. None. Maybe I can change that. Let me advertise your spa at my next performance. I would love that. Thank you. No worries, Baya. But let's get back to your girlfriends. Innkeep, don't you know someone that could help them out? This situation is kind of tricky. They might need a mediator. I can absolutely hang up a quest for you if you want. That would be great. Thank you so much. Of course. Making my patrons happy is part of my job. Now who's the sweet talker, huh? But now I have to wait, right? Yes, unfortunately. How about you show us around your spa in the meantime? It would be my pleasure. And once we're back, there will be a solution for your two friends. Okay, so we've unlocked more information on Baya. So let's see what that is. Okay, so Baya is a bit shy due to some bad experiences with other people that led to her having only a small group of friends. And now that they're fighting, she's afraid of ending up alone again. Working through her fears, she invited my customers to her spa. I bet her mud masks are out of this world. No pressure. There's a millennium-long relationship on the line, remember that. Absolutely no pressure. I'll see what I can do. Thank you. See you then, Innkeep. Yeah, see ya. Oh, I can't wait to feel how smooth my skin is after a mud mask. You think I can take my crochet hook with me? Okay, so we've got enough. Actually, this doesn't seem like this has changed. So, undead seem to be haunting the west. Ooh, no, it is different because they used to match in color. I didn't want to put that there. I'm trying to look at. Let's see. Okay, I think that all fits together. Yeah, the Lagoon of Tranquility. So the Mari Morgan, known for her passion for drowning trespassers, and the Banshee singer of bone-shattering songs in the Loathsome Lagoon are two terrifying creatures in love. But because of a mysterious dispute, their relationship is on the line, and their best friend, the Swamp Witch Baya, would do anything to keep her friend group from shattering. Couples counselor sorely needed. Okay, it looks like we might have enough for another one. Now, I saw that Dira There's Adira, and there's Adira. So a crash of spinning rhinos collapsed the canal bridge connecting Deer to the mainland, spawning the worst of all things budget discussion. Deer seem to be very unsafe at the moment, at least if your cattle. A few animals have not returned home in a while. There we go. Oh my goodness, that took me forever. So, fatal company. Political tension ensued when the canal bridge connecting Diria to the mainland collapsed, especially because spinning rhinos can't exactly be held responsible. The ambassador tasked with solving this mess is a young noble, and his worried best friend insists he's still dire need of new personal guard, especially since the roads are unsafe for travelers lately. If those travelers are cattle, anyway. Okay, so we got 2 quests that time. This took me forever to figure out what was what. Okay, Act 2, Starlight Sonata, 12. It takes 2 or 3, 10th of the astral moon. Okay, get the achievement. Case closed. Facio's best detective duo has returned. Welcome back, Millie and Malachite. John. I'm calling him Aura now. Because he's giving you migraines? No, because of his gloomy aura, of course. Well then, Millie, Aura, it's good to have you two back in town. I assume you were able to solve the mystery surrounding the missing familiars. Yes, with the help of my trusty assistant, I was able to figure it out. That's remarkable, I have to say. Good thing you went with her, Aura. It was a dangerous mission. Did you encounter a T-Rex? Of course not, but we were nearly buried alive, or burned alive. That's not what I would have expected. You must always expect life to double-cross you. I'm glad you both made it back in one piece. But I'm curious, what was the reason behind those vanishing familiars? Do I need to worry about Andu disappearing too? How about we tell you what happened in Zoford, but only in exchange for 2 free drinks? I can see you've learned a thing or two on your first big mission. Or it taught me how to be more cunning. Only the basics. No need to be so humble. You taught her well. What kind of drink would you like today, Millie? I want something, something that'll polish my investigation and deductive skills. I'll drink that'll make me even smarter than I am now, so no mysterious case like this one will ever be unsolvable for me. Coming right up. Okay, so Boris, Lagoon of Tranquility. Okay, an intelligence drink. That would be the Nebula. It's usually what she orders. Let's see if this will make your brain cells multiply. Thank you. Let me try. Ooh, this is good. I can already feel it. I'm going to be completely unstoppable. Oh no. Oh yes. Initially I wanted to sit this one out, but I might actually need a drink now. It would be my pleasure if it means that I get to hear your story. Also, I am longing for another one of your little secrets. Right, we made a deal. Correct. So what will it be today? Maybe something that'll help me counter her verbal attacks now that she's linguistically invincible. So the usual. Alright, give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, give him a spoken heart. This should make things easier for you. Oh. I can see it in his face. Is it that bad? Huh? No, silly. He likes it. You can clearly see it in the way his scarf is moving. Ah, I see. My detective skills aren't that bad after all. You think you could teach me a thing or two sometime? Of course. Then we'll be a trio. The detective, her trusty assistant, and the curious apprentice. I like the sound of that. It's been a while since I've been an apprentice. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to be a part of this. But I couldn't have completed the quest without you. Also, being a detective's trusty assistant is an honorable duty. And I'm glad you came with me. Of course. I couldn't let you walk headfirst into the open maws of a hungry T-Rex. Did you actually encounter a T-Rex in Zoford? No. Don't be silly. For a moment, I thought you just shared one of your many secrets with me. Right. I guess I owe you one of those now. My hair isn't actually all black. I know. That's not a secret. I can clearly see the white streak. Anyways. But now, please, I'm dying to know what happened in Zoford. So, thanks to the golden feathers, we made it to Zoford in the blink of an eye. I don't think I've ever felt that fast in my life. It was like he had the zoomies. They helped us remain unseen, too. Thanks to your drink, we were able to sneak around the city without attracting too much attention. But those ghosts were the clue we needed. I knew we'd find something at the dock, so we made our way there. She was right. In the dead of night, just hours after we had left your tavern, we spotted a peculiar dog roaming near the water. We watched as it tried to sneak onto a cargo ship. It behaved weird, undog-like. It hid behind some barrels and kept looking left and right before it started to sneak on board. I've never seen a dog do that before. It looked like it didn't know how to be a dog. It didn't use its nose, its ears. It was just off. We watched as one of the workers noticed a dog and scared it away. But my investigative senses were tingling. So we started asking around. As detectives do when they want to collect some evidence. A few people said they'd also seen some animals with odd behaviors. Most of them thought they had some kind of illness, like rabies, or that they were spirits disguised in animal form sent by a sea witch. So they stayed away and minded their own business. Not very high-class detectives of them, but they made for fine witnesses. Apparently there's something like a weekly get-together for all the town's familiars. We decided to check it out. And we managed to track down a few of the participating familiars to get some insight. It was a little tricky since none of them wanted to talk to us at first. I think they were a bit wary of strangers. It also seems to be difficult for familiars to speak to people they don't know. Must have something to do with their magical abilities. But with our combined charm and charisma, Aura and I were finally able to gain the trust of one of them. And they told us something strange. They said all those familiars that went missing seemed to have been in contact with one particular magician. So of course we had to pay that wizard a visit. Preferably when he wasn't at home. I think that's called burglary. Finding out his address was child's play. Apparently he's quite popular among the people of Zoford. It just took Aura a little bit of well-executed bribery to find the mage's home. Did you take some notes? I did. Prepare yourself to be my next test subject, Innkeeper. Should I be scared? I'm excited to see how much you've learned. You'll be surprised. Flabbergasted. Gobsmacked. Very well. Your drink really did wonders. We managed to break in without anyone noticing. It was so exciting. We snuck around looking for evidence. Maybe a hidden realistic chamber or something like that. And did you find one? Sadly, no. But we found his office with a door open. Inside were a lot of books about different kinds of animals and familiars. We figured he just loved animals, or at least needed that knowledge for something else. As in any world-class detective would, I also checked his trash can. And, did you find anything? Well, nothing that helped to solve the case. But I did find something that you'd like between all that shredded paper. It looked like a recipe for a magical drink, just like the ones you serve. Ta-da! That's very useful, so we unlocked the silent owl. That's what I thought. Anyways, Aura and I continued our search for clues. His office also had books about common and uncommon diseases in animals, so we kind of had a connection to the reported cases of rabies. I thought it was a bit of a stretch, not that I could change your mind. That wasn't all we found. Next to his desk in a small cupboard were his diaries. They were full of notes and spells I didn't understand. Something about transmutational magic. While she studied his diaries, I rummaged through his belongings and scrolls. I had absolutely no clue what any of it meant until I found something of interest. Detailed instructions on how to unbind a familiar from their services. A thought began to manifest itself in my brain, though I can't quite grasp it yet. But somehow my instincts told me I had all the information I needed. I just had to stitch everything together. Kind of like what I do when I assemble a quest for my patrons. Exactly. But right when I tried getting to it, we heard the front door squeak and creak as someone entered the house. We tried to hide, of course, but we hadn't been quick enough with our investigation. And definitely not subtle either. The whole place looked super chaotic. The wizard immediately knew something was off. And a potentially dangerous person on high alert is even more dangerous, so we had to be on guard. Or to hid under the table, but I had other plans. I managed to jump on a bookshelf and wedge myself right on top under the ceiling. So I was hidden, but could still see the whole room. Good call. I watched as the magician barged in, but he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a lizard, a colorful bird, and a two-headed sheep. Oh no, not one of those again. Huh? It's nothing. Please continue. It was so weird. The bird didn't know how to fly, the lizard walked on two legs, and the sheep's two heads always looked in the same direction. As if they all didn't know how to be real animals, just like the dog from the docks. But now we had proof. The weird animals were definitely connected to the weird wizard. And as if the wizard noticed something, he stopped and said to the animals, "No, you three get out of here. I don't want you to get in trouble or hurt." I already had my fingers wrapped around the handle of my knife, ready to strike. I'm sure he felt my murderous intent. But it does sound like he cared about those animals. That's what I thought too. As soon as they'd left the room, I saw him create a ball of flames in his hand. He was ready to strike, and I knew I had to do something. He would have done horrible things to Aura. So I meowed. Like a cat? Uh-huh. I pretended to be a cat. And somehow it worked even though I was wearing clothes. The wizard turned around and saw me on top of the bookshelf. His features turned from worried to soft in a millisecond, and he said, "Oh, a little rascal. How did you get in here? Did I lock you in? You must be terribly scared." And I was scared, but not for the reason he thought. So I just meowed a second time, as you do when you're pretending to be a cat. And then he said very politely, "Would you please come down here? This room isn't a place for little cats, but I can offer you a cup of milk instead." And that was a very tempting offer, so as any cat would answer, I answered, "No, but I would love some chocolate milk." I kinda forgot that cats don't usually speak. Needless to say, his face was priceless. But then his hand started to light up again. I immediately knew she was in danger, so I broke every possible rule the Thieves Guild taught me and just popped up from underneath the table. That was very brave of you. That was kind of foolish thing to do. I mean, very brave of him. Don't know if I'd have been so fearless. Well, am I making blush? I had to. The wizard turned around. He was surprised, maybe even scared, but he was also ready to fire at me. I already saw my life flashing before my eyes. And before I could even think about it, I yelled, "We know you don't mean any harm. You're just trying to protect those familiars, right?" Apparently I hit a nerve. He stopped right in his tracks. I took advantage of that moment and tried to explain why we were in his home in the first place. I told him everything about the quest, the familiars, the weird dog. Usually I'm not very good with words, but, well, your drink definitely did what it was supposed to do. I don't know how, but I think we managed to de-escalate the situation. He looked panicked before, as if he was being chased. Maybe he actually expected people to come after him. Hearing all the clues out of Aura's mouth kind of flipped a switch in my brain, and I could see the truth right in front of me. Suddenly everything made so much sense. I jumped down from the shelf and began my conclusion. It is clear to me that you, the accused, do not have ill intentions. However, that does not make you innocent. You're still involved in the disappearance of some familiars. She was walking back and forth while she gave her speech. Needless to say, the wizard and I were equally confused. You're fond of animals, and as such, also familiars. And why I don't know anything about magic. I've heard the term transmutational before. Who hasn't, honestly? It's a broadly used term. That right there was a blatant lie. So I, the world's greatest detective, have concluded you are turning familiars into animals, or at least you're making them look like animals. You also are accompanied by some of those turned familiars, and you cared for their safety. That means they are here of their own free will. So by turning them into animals, you did them a favor. They wanted to be transmuted. But now their patrons and the other familiars can't reach them anymore. And they're worried that something bad happened to them. And that's why we're here. Case closed. That's pretty impressive. And you figured that all by yourself. Yep. The magician was also really impressed. I totally hit the nail on the head. I explained again that we were just there to investigate. But that it was also necessary for the familiars and their friends and families to talk to each other. The remaining familiars wanted an explanation as well as their former mages. The wizard already felt guilty for doing something behind their backs, of course. It turns out the familiars were unhappy in their dragon-like bodies and much preferred feeling like real animals. But they were afraid of telling their patrons and familiar friends, so none of the remaining acquaintances knew what had happened. Of course they expected the worst. Why else would your friends just leave you alone and disappear without a trace? Yeah. But obviously none of them wanted to continue on like that, so we helped set up a meeting for them to talk it out. And they did. All the magicians were very understanding, if a little sad to lose their connections. The other familiars also welcomed them with open arms, even though they were a little confused at first. They needed a while to understand why their friends wanted to be animals, but I think they got it eventually. So, all in all, it sounds like a very successful quest. Absolutely. I'm glad you got to uncover the truth. Me too. The magician even decided to give us something in return for helping him. Neither of us have any use for it, so we wanted you to have it. Don't say that. That makes it sound like it's a bad gift, and it's not. What is it then? It's a ring of beast storing with a lost familiar inside of it. He found it a long while ago, but its patron never showed up. We named it Renew. Melina can't take care of it, and I have my sheepfish, Rufus. But you have Andu, so you already know how to take care of a mini-dragon. Oh, I absolutely do. He might enjoy some company. I wouldn't have minded him staying an only child. No, I want more. So thank you two very much. Oh, he's right up there. How cute. Obtained another familiar. I need to get back to Rufus now. He gets lonely without me sometimes. Or is it that you get lonely without him? He's my pet. I need to take care of him. Don't worry. I'm sure Fable did a good job. Though it's nice to see how much you care for your pet. He's been my only friend since my parents died a long time ago. Oh. Were they also eaten by zombies? No. They were burned alive. Oh. Oh no. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was late afternoon and my parents wanted to visit the adjacent village to buy some grain. But they never returned. I wanted to look for them. But when I got to the village, every house, every barn, and even the ground was ablaze. I heard yelling and people screaming in pain, pleading for help. And my parents were nowhere to be found. A few of the survivors confirmed they had seen them earlier that day, before the fire. I later found out that the perpetrator was a pretentious son of a noble family. He had a disagreement with the farmer over some payments and instead paid a bunch of criminals to set fire to his barn. But the fire spread uncontrollably and devoured everything in its path, including innocent lives, just like it did today. That's awful. I'm sorry, Aura. It's alright. I bottled all my emotions up and combined them into desire. For a family. For revenge. Oh. But that sounds like a lonely desire, though. And you haven't found any friends since then? No. The people in the Thieves Guild helped me survive, but they weren't particularly keen on friendship. So I just chose the lonely path that was meant for me. A guy snoring and you can hear him. I love it. That's not very nice of them. But now you have me. And we're best friends now. And accomplices. And we can found our own guild. Okay, so we unlocked more information on Millie. Apparently a place as well. Diria. That's the Fatal Company quest. Okay, so as is fitting for young detective, she's always eager to learn and experience new things. Though her youth leads her to attach to people around her rather quickly, on a different note, her favorite drink is hot chocolate. Looks like I have to add another recipe to my list very soon. Like a detective's guild. No. Okay, we got more on Aura, which I love how his name just keeps changing. It even says, changes in my book, it's Aura. But even a grumpy, lonesome person like him can't resist a certain stray cat's charm, even though the rules of the Shadowbane's Thief Guild and Murderous Oaths were all he knew for a long time. Maybe they'll consider an alternate career in the future, a detective's assistant, for example. Give us a few more quests, and we'll be the most famous detectives in all of Facio. I'm sure of that. And a good mythical morning to you, Innkeeper. This time it's actually still morning. But that doesn't mean it isn't also morning somewhere else in the world as well. Of course not. That's a really cute hat you're wearing. Thanks. Can I try it on sometime? Only if you tell me your name. A fellow master of bribery, I see. But there's nothing more you could possibly teach me. A world-class detective like me doesn't need extra lessons in bribery. So you're a detective? Yes. The best detective in all of Phaeocia, I might add. I'm Melina, by the way, but you can call me Melly. Happy to make your acquaintance, Melly. I'm Hexagon Hex, but you can call me Hex. Like, by your last name? No, Hex. As in short for Hexagon, obviously. Ah. And who's that grim-looking fellow next to you? Oh, him? They look grouchy, but they're my world-class assistant. Not by choice. His name is Aura. I'm sure it is, yes. Nice to meet you, Aura. But I think you've gotten enough information out of me. Can I try on your hat now? That's a tricky one. You see this little star pendant at the tip of my hat? Uh-huh. It classifies me as a wizard of the Primordial Sea. A silver one, I might add. One of Leviathan's most trusted confidants. Oh. And all of his knowledge is directly transmitted to anyone with a hat like mine. In particular, silver stars like me have access to information that, leaked to the masses, would break the order of this world. Oh, wow. But every silver star has to go through extensive mental training. Such amounts of knowledge would drive any mortal without proper training insane. No. So I can't let you try on my hat without endangering your life. And I couldn't forgive myself if I were the reason Phaeocia's best detective went mad. I think he's lying. That's very honorable of you. But I, the great detective Melina, have concluded that you, Hexagon Hex, are nothing but a bad liar. You're a great detective indeed. I honestly thought you were pretty convincing, Hex. Thank you. Wait, did you actually believe him? I must admit I considered it for a moment. Of course not. I just happen to know a thing or two about the Primordial Sea. I've read a few books, heard some rumors. You know how it is. And I really doubt Leviathan would share his precious knowledge with a mere mortal. Nothing against you, Hex. You got me there. I gotta say, you're really convincing. I sure am. Looks like even a great detective like me never stops learning. Honestly, you could have just told me no, though. I would have revealed my name without even a promising magic hat on the line. But it's more fun this way. I think honesty is also a very important skill to master. Whatever you say, detective. But Hex, what brings you here today? Nothing really. I was just longing for another one of your drinks. You know, the kind that would flood my head with new ideas. Leave it to me. Okay, so he needs an intelligence one. Should be a sparkling nebula. There you go. This should do the trick. Let's see. Oh, I can already feel it. All the ideas, they're manifesting in my brain. Honestly, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, can you maybe show me a magic trick? Just to test your abilities, I mean. Well, yes, of course I can. I'm glad you asked. You know, I'm a master of fire. Uh-oh. Oh, then, can you also do fireballs? I wouldn't call a fireball a mere magic trick, more like a fully fledged spell. But I can create 10 tiny flames on top of my fingertips. Like cute little candles? I want to see that. I would maybe advise you two to play with fire outside. A lot of my ingredients are very flammable. You'll miss a real big show then. I think think I'll somehow manage to survive. Oh my goodness, he's blowing bubbles. How cute. Your loss. Or are you coming as well? I'm good. All right, Lone Wolf. You're missing out, though. Certainly. See you later. Have fun. So we kind of did a little damage control for him because I doubt he cares for fire, especially after what happened to his parents. All right, Care took one of our quests. Innkeep. Care. This quest up for taken. It sure is. Why else would it be hanging on the quest board? Who asked you, thief? Are you going all by yourself? Of course. I don't do groups. But it could be quite dangerous. Daria seems to be a hotspot for danger at the moment. Do you want to come with me or what? If so, spit it out, kid. No. Fine. There's nothing this great sword can't cleave through by itself. Won't need much help. Cool. They always like that, Innkeep. Worse usually. Depends on who's in the room. I like how he smiled. Because I get him. I see how it is. You do. Yes, of course I do. You're like a dragon. You barely know me, so it's obvious that you're reserved as to not expose any weak spots. But sometimes you gotta find the fine line between being reserved and being a tad too... edgy? That. Can you stop psychoanalyzing me? Yes. No. Great. Not like you're right with any of your assumptions. You could always enlighten us. I'll pass. But I wouldn't mind another drink. Same as always? Yes. Something, something for my aura. Gotcha. It's on the house this time. Okay, we need the spoken heart, because that's usually what he gets. Wonder what kind of drink we're going to have to give Care for her quest. Thanks. That's good. Enough. Splendid. Alright, moving on. What about you, Care? I'd like to know more about the chasmscape that's the path to Daria. I mean, I haven't been there yet. Me either, actually. Really. Do you think I never leave this tavern? Do you have any special insights that might be useful? Not so much about the situation in Daria itself, but bits and bobs I pick up over the last few days. Enlighten me. As you might have read, travel to Daria has become a bit of a hazard. Collapsing bridges, disappearing animals, nervous diplomats. Sounds like a haven for bandits. Among other things. Either way, I'll get that blue blood to Daria. Of course. How about a drink to aid with the undertaking? I thought you'd never ask. Any wishes? I mean, this could go either way. Depends on what truly is going down in Daria. Timing might be important. Being swift and smart about it. Evasion, that's what you call it. I might have a good infusion for that. The feather of the golden loon. A what? Oh, a rare waterfowl. Legend has it the wind still resides in its feathers, which is why they lend you its speed. Ah, intriguing. Suppose it'd be great for evasion, if you added something for the brains, too. Though I'll be dealing with a diplomat, so a little additional charisma to get me on his good side wouldn't hurt either. Definitely doable. Alternatively, to be prepped for every possible situation, something to up my defenses wouldn't be too bad. How do you feel about traveling under the blessing of the dragons? I'm all ears. With a little citron, your weapon strikes will be blessed, great against any bandits or bridges. That sounds like something my Baba would have chosen, not that she would have needed it. Okay, so we got more information on Care. She inherited that huge greatsword from her grandma, whom Care lovingly calls Baba. Grandma must have been a true hero, devoted both her strength and dragons. Naturally, Care has very high expectations of herself. Luckily, she allows herself some breaks every now and then. If the situation really is that dangerous, something that'd give me more protection would fit. If it comes with enough strength to strike back, that is. But being able to evade the threat by being smart and fast about it might be better. You know what, Innkeep? I'll leave the choice to you. You should know what you're doing. Let me think about it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the Swift. Smart and Swift. I think that would be the best choice. Where we need the golden feather. That's the one we need. So that's what I'm leaning towards. So let's go ahead and grab one of the golden feathers. We need mostly intelligence. Let's see, what are we? Okay, so it's in the charisma. It is the golden feather, right? Yeah, it's the only feather I have, so, but yet it shows a minus in that. Probably this one. The Peak Sunrise is a sweet drink that feels like standing on tall mountains peak. While this drink focuses on intelligence, adventurers may feel infused with the confidence and agility it takes to climb their favorite mountain range, unsurpassing popular. Oh, well, no, it does say 1, and that would be 1. Yeah, so we'll try this one. It already has this, so I don't need that. Oh, shoot, wrong one. Nope. Give me this. Drink that. Meant to grab that. Peak Sunrise. There we go. Let's let wits, wind, and some kind words guide your way. Let's. Where are you headed? Daria, some diplomat clown is in need of aid. Needs some escorting of sorts. Aye, Innkeeper. Is this the escort quest you've been offering? Yep. Boggin crap. I've been meaning to take that one to earn a little bit of coin on the side. Well, I've already committed to it. And what if I tell ye that I want the quest? Well, you ain't getting it. Simple. Could you stop me? Do you want to try? I'd love you to. Come on now. Just go together. Who asked ye? Exactly. Your conversation is giving me a headache. The solution is easy as it is effective. Go together. One takes on the big bads, the other the small ones. Either way, you'd be prepared for a fight. If it comes to it. Listen, I'm looking to buy some materials for an important project. Material cost exploded ever since the stars fell. I wouldn't mind a side gig. You look sturdy, like you could take a few blows, so sure. Let's do it. Let's meet tonight at the crossroads to Thamus. We'll leave from there. Great. I'll head to my room to start packing. And to take a nap. Those are effective after all, huh? Oh, shush. You're a brooding fella, aren't you? This is just who I am. I've met fella like ye before. You're all the same. Often you've got the truest hearts of gold. Can we skip the sincerity? My headache is bad enough. Oi, Innkeeper. Rhea. Kyle keeps talking about fireworks. He's still oblivious about what actually happened. Luck's with the fools, they say. For many, it'd be easier if it had just been fireworks. He keeps blathering about that letter. Oh? Have you opened it yet? No. Dreading what might be inside? Didn't have time yet. I just don't care that much. Didn't have time. Suddenly your lines don't sound so empty anymore. Don't think too hard about it. Think about what? Nothing. Of course not. I didn't mean to pry or anything, even though I'm very curious by nature. Good for you. I would agree. That and Wanderlust is the reason why I decided to come here. To the tavern, to Zenith, to adventure. Woohoo. Thank you. I've come to inquire whether someone has already embarked on the quest to escort my dear friend Daria. Very much so. She's sitting right here. Where? Oh, how rude of me. Of course, hello, brave adventurer. Rhea's enough. Hello, brave Rhea. You're the one who's going to escort my dear friend? Along with Care. That one. Oh, Carolyn? Phenomenal. I'm beyond thrilled to learn that my dear friend is going to be in such capable hands. Though, I've been wondering. Come on, spit it out. Could I perhaps join? It's totally alright if not, but this diplomat is very dear to me, and it feels like my duty to aid him. Can you even fight? Well, I can talk. Very well, in fact. I can fight with my words. Okay, so we unlocked more information about Archie. Okay, turns out Archie is not only an avid reader, but also an inspiring author. To fulfill his dreams and acquire more inspiration for his works, he's determined to go on a real quest. Good thing his childhood friend is in dire need of brave adventurers to help him out. The wolf had hated. So sure thing. Come along, lad. I'll show you some tricks. We leave at midnight. Really? How exciting. Come on, let's go. Oh, how the turntables. Me, going on a dangerous and important quest instead of merely reading about it. Seems like you're on the right path for your hero's journey. Indeed. All the stories I'll have to tell when I return, Innkeeper. I can't wait. Farewell. See you soon. Goodbye. See you soon. I hope their quest goes well and they don't run into anything unexpected. What's on your mind? Are there any open quests left? There's one, but it involves social conflict resolution. Sure, whatever. I'm taking this. Isn't it a bit too soon to go on another quest? You just got back. At least have a long rest, replenish some resources. I'm good. If you say so. Are you sure? No, but who cares? I do. Don't. A bit too late for that, I'm afraid. I already paid you with a story today, so get me one of those quest drinks. Something with a little more violence. I don't think I'll be doing that. Hiya, Innkeeper. Hiya, Fable. Hiya, Mal. Hi. Yeah, never mind. Would you like a drink? Actually, I'm here for a quest. Archie told me there was still one left, and I wanted to ask if I could take it. Good question, Fable. I see it's on me to answer it. Aura's thinking about taking the quest. Who's Aura? John. Malachite. That guy. Oh, nice name. Thank you. But, you've already taken it. I guess I'm too late. I hope you have fun. First come, first served. Aura's got this. I think you should take the quest instead, Fable. Why don't you two go together? I mean, I really want to just say first come, first serve. But should I suggest that they go together? Ooh, I don't know. I feel like, what if this is like a choice that I have to make? Maybe they should go together? I mean, but don't get any ideas, Fable. He's my boo. So don't... Better not be a romance leading from this one. Together? Is that allowed? Of course. Teamwork is the adventuring world's bread and butter. Most heroic deeds are not done alone. Life would be very lonely that way. It would be, yes. So you should go on this quest together. Combine your individual strengths to solve any problems better than you ever could alone. And you'd get to know each other better in the process. It's a win-win. Or, what do you think? Would you be okay with that? I guess. Would you? I think so. It sounds fun. Cool. It's settled then. You'll go together. If I can ask, what exactly is the quest about? Archie only mentioned there was one. It's simple. Baya's worried because the Banshee of the Lonesome Lagoon and the Mary Morgan of the Ashen Grove aren't speaking to each other. She fears the end of their relationship would also mean the end of her friendship with them. Baya is friends with the Mary Morgan? Best friends. Ah, so we need to talk to the Mary Morgan? And the Banshee. What an opportunity. I always wanted to come face to face with the embodiment of sorrow. Don't you think that's scary? No. You know what's scary? Failing relationships. Social fights are the most dangerous kind. I find them less scary than wrathful spirits. Seems like together your fears will cancel each other out. I don't know enough about math to dispute that. Speaking of math-ish, what do you two want to approach? How do you two want to approach this? This is not an easy task, so we must be smart about it. Do you still have any of those fey crystals? The ones that make you fade into the shadows entirely? Sure do. Good. I suggest you mix those with a hefty serving of intelligence. Then we can turn invisible and come up with a clever ruse to make them fall for each other again without them even knowing it was us. Do you just want to avoid social interaction? Maybe. Or maybe I enjoyed the whole clever detective thing last time. Maybe. Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they should talk about their feelings. What if their feelings are that they never want to talk to each other ever again? Then they should talk about that too. That's not the point of the quest. I think it is. We should face the problem head on instead of trying to find a way to avoid it. I think I could do with another round of charisma for this one. And maybe... Innkeeper, Clay mentioned you have Thunder Sage. That would help us inspire other people, right? Correct. I'll admit it works a little differently for everyone, but I have no doubt you'll figure it out. Speaking of Clay, he wanted me to tell you that he and Tia will make it back in time for the barbecue. Really? That's amazing. Aura, you should come too. We're having a barbecue at the werewolf settlement on the 31st. It'll be great fun, I think. I don't think so. Oh, alright. I love him so much. I have to get back to Rufus at some point. He'll need his wool cut. Speaking of Rufus, if you're here, Fable, where's the sheepfish? Melania picked him up. She said she'd bring him home so he has to spend less time alone. Great. What was wrong? I told her exactly what kind of food to give him in case he gets hungry while they wait for you. No, it's fine. He likes her. They're a good match. Anyway, we should hurry so you don't miss your barbecue. You're right. Innkeeper, can you help us pick the right approach? Either invisible and intelligent or charismatic and inspiring. I trust your expertise. Let me think about it. Okay, I think Fable's approach is actually better, even though I would normally side with my brooding buddy. But I'm going to go with the intelligence. So I needed the... Oh, what do I need for that one? Okay, the hunting flower would be for that one. Invisibility is this one, which was the fake crystal. Thunder Sage is what I needed. Okay, so I need something that does charisma. And what's it point to? Okay, it mostly points to the intelligence. But I need it to point to this. 1,000 winds. Possibly the sunny breeze? Yeah, because it's already got the intelligence, so I would just need this. And then I need a little of that. I think a direct approach is the better choice. After all, honest communication is important, right? Would you say so? Very much so. And you? I think honesty is the best approach to any situation, including this one. Agreed. I think the only question left is, where should we start? The Ashen Grove is closer. And you already know where to find the Mari Morgan. You do? Yes. I encountered her before. So she'll remember you. Useful? I hope not. Last time she tried to drown me. Oh, I see. It was pretty embarrassing. I know the way to the Banshee too. It might be smarter to start with the one further away. Work backwards and all. That makes sense. Let's do that. Good. But we should prepare first. The journey to the Boris won't be easy. You're right. We should leave tomorrow morning. We should. Wonderful. Glad to know that you'll actually rest between quests, Aura. If I must. You went on a quest with Melly, right? How was it? Fine. Reminded me of my parents. Are they, well? They're dead. Ah. Burned to death. I'm sorry. That's horrible. That's life. It shouldn't be. How old were you when you lost them? 7. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. That must have been really scary. It was. Fine. Doesn't sound fine. When I was 7, I ran into a vine-spiked boar while searching for friendly rocks. It chased me through the forest for almost an entire hour. First I thought I was going to die. Then I was sure I was never going to step foot outside again. But when they found me crying, my family hugged me so tightly they dried up all my tears. And when I sat in my room frozen in fear, we danced and played board games until I forgot I was even scared. I can't imagine not having that. I can. It was... Please don't say fine. Scary. Really scary. I waited at home by myself for 2 whole days. I thought the shadows were going to eat me at some point. And when I finally was brave enough to leave, it was too late. You know it wasn't your fault, right? I know I never want to feel that scared again. But it's fine, because I fixed it. Fixed it? How? By taking revenge on the thunder who caused their death. A popular approach these days. Did that make you feel any better? Yeah, sure. It was just a natural part of my journey, following the path of darkness. It's my destiny. Misery is nobody's destiny. She's right. You shouldn't confine yourself to sadness just because it's what you're used to. Besides, the Innkeeper always says you can choose your own destiny. And I decided our destiny is to bring these 2 loved birds back together, at least for now. I think I need to go prepare for our treacherous journey ahead. You should let Melina know you're leaving. You should hurry or Melina will stop you. You should let her know he's leaving. She'll be worried senseless otherwise. Let her know you'll be back. I might not be. Don't be like your parents. Whatever. Time to go. Do you think I should go after them? I think sometimes we need a bit of time to feel our feelings by ourselves before we feel comfortable enough feeling them in front of other people. That's a no, right? Give him a moment. You'll have plenty of time to be there for him when you're trying to play matchmaker for the undead. Right. We have to do that. Which is fine. I'll be fine. The Mari Morgan probably doesn't even remember me. And if she does, I can just run, or hide, or cry. No matter what, you won't be alone. I can't tell Aura how afraid I am. It'll be so embarrassing. If you want to be there for him, you should also let him know when you're scared. It's only fair. I don't want to burden them with my problems. Being a burden every once in a while is part of the wonderful experience of being loved. Your friends appreciate it when you trust them enough to let them help you. Because when you care for people, you're willing to put in a little work to make them smile. But you already know all this, don't you? I do. But it's just so much harder to keep in mind when it comes to myself. I know, but you're doing very well, Fable. I know, but you have to try anyway. Thank you, Innkeeper. It's all thanks to you. That isn't true. I've been trying to help you the best I can, but you're the one who actually has to change. And I'm proud of how far you've come. Let's call it teamwork then. Let's. Anytime. Can I stay for a little longer? I think I need a bit more time before I can face my fears. Always, Fable. Thank you. Man, Fable stayed all day. Morning. It's not morning. Did I sleep that long? No, it's still the same day. Ah, that makes more sense. Not morning, Elfie. Not morning. How did you sleep? Not much. Think your drink made me restless. Archie said you're going on a quest. Yeah, Ray and I will be escorting some rich to Daria. Be a little nicer, please. He's Archie's friend. Sorry. We'll be escorting some rich idiot to Daria. He's Archie's friend? I see. That's why he was so excited. Because his friend's leaving. Must really be craving some peace and quiet. Oh, no. He's excited because they get to travel together. What? He said he's coming along. Since when? Ray invited him. Great. Is it too late to back out? Yes, don't be a coward. No. Would you like to? I'm going to go with this one. Don't be a coward. Fine. But I'll need another drink. That would be rather difficult. I already gave you a drink tailored to your quest, and my boost shouldn't be mixed so irresponsibly right before an adventure. So I'm just supposed to deal with this headache by myself. Yes. Very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you think something exciting will happen on your quest? We'll see. I've got a good feeling about it. You reckon I'm going to slay another guardian? Maybe. That would be intense, right? What kind would you like to fight this time? Not sure. I feel like I already met the one I was looking for. What could be a greater fight than slaying a wyvern chimera? You're right. I think that means it's time to befriend the realm keepers now. Wouldn't that be something? Which one would you like to meet the most? Gaia. Can't think of a greater honor than that. You? Gaia as well, but I feel like I should pick someone else for balance. Cassiopeia, maybe? I'd love to ask her how she's doing right now. Maybe give her a hug. You'd be the type to give a dragon a hug? What does that mean? That you're very lovely, I think. Something like that. So, fellow dragon enjoyer, who would you pick? No repeats. The first dragon in the origin of everything, Tuat, the great dragon spirit, or Leviathan, the serpent of the primordial sea. I'm gonna pick that one. Why? You like snakes? I do. I also enjoy elemental magic and swimming in chaos. What was that last one? Swimming. Right. But I suspect your quest will have its merits even if you don't meet any of the realm keepers. That's true. I bet you and Rhea will have a lot to talk about, and you can teach Archie more about adventuring. I'm not so sure about that. You're a great teacher. I've learned so much from you already just by being your friend. Like how to say what I really mean. I'm still working on it, obviously, but I feel so much better when I'm being honest about what I want. You've been getting a lot better at it. Thank you. And Melly loves practicing with you, too. She says she wants to ask Rhea to build her a great sword of her own. So a regular-sized dagger. Teaching someone to hold a sword is one thing. Guts and bravery are something else. Not sure I can teach Archie something I'm still practicing myself. You could always practice together. Yeah. Speaking of practice, you're going on a quest too, Elfie. I am. Aura and I are going to fix the Banshee and the Mari Morgan's relationship. Is that Sneaky Twister's new name? It is. Ain't you scared of the Mari Morgan? Only a little. Okay, maybe a lotta. Do you think she's going to drown me, or do you think the Banshee will? Maybe they'll reunite through the teamwork of drowning me. Probably not. I think you'll probably find some wacky-as-heck solution that no person in the history of dragonkind would ever have thought of. Like being kind or whatever. I'd like that. And if all else fails, you're always got an insane air echo by your side to pull you out of the water, if he can swim. He's sane. Is he? Well, mostly I think he's sad, and sadness can make people feel a lot of intense things. Like fear or anger or nothing at all. Anything that isn't sadness. It's easy to lose yourself in that, but there's always a way out if you're looking. You taking that sheepfish thing along? Maybe? I think you might let him stay with Melina, so she isn't so alone. Or so he isn't at risk of losing him. Probably both. Not a bad idea. Would hate for her to be all alone while you two go out chasing ghosts. Maybe we can send Grace over to check up on her. Or Hex. No. Guess if you're going with whatever the Drake's his names is, you'll finally be able to ask him about his cheesecake recipe. Cheesecake recipe? Melina mentioned he has a good one. I thought maybe he could show me how to make it. That sounds like a great idea. That doesn't seem like something he'd enjoy. I mean, it sounds like a great idea. I love cheesecake. Makes me love him even more. Ask him. You could use my kitchen if you want to. Really? That would be amazing. I'll ask him. Maybe. Undo will be waiting for you. On a completely different note, Care, what happened to those undead snails you wanted to check in on? Well, they're slow, ain't they? Still got a little time to stick around. So you'd say you'd like it here. It's not too bad here. Thought maybe I'd even bring my cousin a souvenir. Hands off my trinkets. I hate that air echo. I'll get something from the market or the elf settlement. Or maybe I'll bring you something back from her farm, Elfie. You mentioned you'd love to try planting some ghost berries. Either way, I'll stop by sooner or later. Don't want to risk her turning into a werewolf and moving house. No, but seriously, if any more of my family members turn into dragon-forsaken werewolves, I'll be joining the Van Helsings. Still don't know if they kill werewolves. Don't care. Do you think I could come with you? When you go, I mean. I could gather the ghost berries myself, and I know a lot about snails. You should. You've got away with her family members. Don't you think people need you here? I mean, why not? And the snails would love you. I have to agree. You'd probably make it a chaotic mess, but a fun chaotic mess? Yeah. Seems like you guys did end up forming a party after all. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, it's late. I think I should go back to the settlement and catch some rest. So, character information. We unlock more on Fable. Fable has a hidden talent for being able to read other people extremely well. Despite their anxiety, they know what to say in a serious situation and go out of their way to help people in need. Turns out a little bit of positive feedback and validation is enough motivation to chase their dreams of adventuring. Carolyn, do you want to come with? We can stop by the werewolf settlement and say hi to Mr. Dragon, or bye. Ain't sure I got any tips for you in return, but I can listen to you worrying. Yeah, you're good at that. Do you want to come too, Innkeeper? I'm afraid Andu doesn't do well in civilization, or alone, especially not alone. But I'll be eagerly awaiting your stories. We'll return with plenty. I'm counting on it. Good night, Care. Good night, Fable. Night. Good night. And another day ends. Alright, so we have Act 2, Starlight Sonata, Interlude, the 13th of the Astral Moon. Alright, everyone, we're going to go ahead and end it there. I hope you have been enjoying more of Tavern Talk. I definitely love seeing the stories that are building and the relationships they're building with these characters. It's kind of like a lot different than a lot of the drink making games I've played before. I feel like these characters are a little bit more in depth and there's more to them, and I absolutely love that. And I'm looking forward to see how these quests turn out for the characters that have taken them, and we still have quite a few more quests that we need to get put together. We just haven't found the rumors yet. So leave me a comment down below. Please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.